Gold has been in a bull run in 2025. Is the bull run likely to continue in 2026? We'll take a look at the charts and we will actually take help from astrology and try to see what the stars are actually telling us with regards to the trend in gold. So the chart we see on the screen is an Aries ingress chart. Sun entered the sign of Aries at 0 degrees on 13th of April 2025 at 11 p.m. and 2 minutes in London. So I am using the location of London because a lot of physical gold trading gets done in London, which is a big center via OTC. So it's really appropriate to actually use the London Aries ingress chart. And here what I would also like to mention is that these, in terms of astrology, the significators for the gold are the Sun and the Jupiter. These are the two planets, Sun and the Jupiter, which are significators for gold. So here we see the this is the weekly chart of the gold price. This is the spot gold, and here each bar represents 1 week of trading. And here I've marked the week when we had the Aries ingress. So this was the sort of our birth chart, which is used in terms of mundane astrology as well, to be able to forecast. And what we also see is another key event that took place on the 17th of October. We saw a big pullback into this market after the market broke out of a long consolidation. And then we will have two key aspects coming into in 2026. One will happen in March, early March, and then one on the 1st of June. So I will try to explain. I will explain what those are and what those two astrological events could mean for the price of gold. So here on this chart, what we see is the key astro events which took place, which I just showed you on the previous price chart, when we saw a big pullback into the gold market, where gold retraced about 10% rather quickly in a couple of days. And the key astrological events that took place was on the 17th of October, the sun actually went debilitated. So here is a transit chart. What you see inside is basically the ingress chart that I had shown you earlier, and what we see on the outside is actually the transits. So these were the transits that were taking place the week of the 17th of October 2025, and this is when we also saw a big pullback happen in the price of gold. I believe in a couple of days the gold was down nearly 10%, and then Sun transited into the sign of Libra. In Vedic astrology, Sun is debilitated in the sign of Libra, and as we know, I had shown you earlier, the Sun and Jupiter are the significators for the gold price. Sun being debilitated is actually related to the pullback that we saw, and happened rather quickly as well. And the other key astrological event that took place a couple of days later was 19th of October. Jupiter actually moved from Gemini, which is number 3 right here, into number 4, which is the sign of Cancer. And Jupiter is exalted in the sign of Cancer. Now this is why we saw a sharp pullback, because of the debilitation of the Sun. However, the market was actually able to put in a bottom as we moved further in time, and the degrees for the Sun, although debilitated in the sign of Libra, they began to rise from 0. And since the Jupiter was in its exaltation sign, that also supported the price of gold, and the correction was limited to around 10 to 11%. And then we saw slowly but surely a consolidation taking place, and then gold was actually able to move higher. Currently, Jupiter is in retrograde motion in the sign of Gemini, and on the 10th of March 2026, Jupiter is going to go direct, and this is going to be actually good for the gold prices, because Jupiter will become or will be strengthening in terms of its functionality, which is basically expansion, which is Jupiter related to. And then finally, we are also going to see another event that Jupiter is going to move back into the sign of Cancer on the 1st of June 2026. Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini and it is retrograde. 10th of March 2026, Jupiter is going to go direct, and then on the 1st of June 2026, Jupiter is actually going to move into the sign of Cancer. And as we saw moments ago, Jupiter is actually exalted in the sign of Cancer. So what I am expecting is that the gold prices to begin really accelerating to the upside after Jupiter turns direct, so that is 10th of March, and Jupiter is on its way to move into the sign of Cancer. So roughly what we can say is that from April to June, in between that time, we could see actually a rather acceleration into the price of gold. So this is what I am actually expecting in terms of the gold prices for the bull run to continue in 2026, and the first half of 2026 we can see the price rise as Jupiter moves into the sign of its exaltation in Cancer. So this is the price chart of gold, and here I have tried to map the astrological events on the price chart so that we are able to easily see these. And here we have our sun in Aries. That's the creation of our ingress chart, and you can see that as the sun entered the sign of Aries at 0 degrees, there was a jump in price of gold. So the gold was actually able to move in terms of percentage quite a bit, and then we saw a bit of a consolidation right into this point A, and this point A is where it formed a low, and that low has not been seen. And this low, which is marked as point A, came in when Sun and Jupiter made an important transit. So the Sun actually transited in the sign of Taurus, and Jupiter transited into the sign of Gemini, and it took place on the 14th of May 2025. So really important transit, because as we know that the significator for gold is Sun and Jupiter, and they both made a transit, key transit, Sun into Taurus and Jupiter into the sign of Gemini on 14th of May 2025, and that marked a really important low right here. Then the market goes into quite a bit of a consolidation for a few months, and then it's really in late August that actually begins to break out, and then we saw a really nice rally. And where you see this is here, where the 17th of October actually happened, when Sun moved into the sign of Libra, where it is debilitated. We saw a rather quick move to the downside, and the week after it actually put in a low at point C. And this is what I mentioned a moment ago, that we had two key events taking place right here. 17th October, Sun moving into the sign of Libra, being debilitated, and then 19th of October we had Jupiter enter the sign of Cancer, where it is exalted. And this is one of the reasons perhaps that what we saw was actually the correction getting limited to about 10%, maybe 11.5% right here. And if we were to just also map using our technical tools, we can also see that it also came right at the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement. So we had a confluence of two things happening, one astro aspects and also some technical levels coming in. So that's all good. Now the really key thing is what to anticipate in 2026. So here what we see is this big bar as well. I believe this is because of the movement of a new moon coming in, and what we are seeing all the week is it's just started right now. The week is not over. Where we have seen a strong start to 2026 for the price of gold. And here are the key dates that I've mapped. 9th of March is when Jupiter will become direct, and 1st of June is when Jupiter will move into the sign of Cancer, where it is exalted. So I am expecting the price to continue its trend upwards into the date of 1st of June. And between April and June, the expectation is that this move to the upside could actually accelerate, so we could see a rather really quick movements in price. And if we just use some technical analysis, simple technical analysis, such as a price projection, where I have mapped A, B, C, D, Then we get a target of somewhere a little above 5,100, and then we also have bills. So this is basically a measured move. Then we get $4,900 per ounce, and roughly if we just take these two numbers, it's quite safe to say that gold has a chance to hit the psychological level of $5,000 per troy ounce. So this is what we are looking at, both from a technical analysis perspective combined with astrology, and I used Vedic astrology here. And the key dates that we are looking at is the move for the gold prices, that is the trend in gold prices to remain to the upside in 2026. So with that, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you found this video of educational value, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. I will really appreciate that. So thank you very much. Good luck, good trading, and speak to you guys soon. And I will be back with another new video with more information about these markets.